up, motherfucker? This week's episode of the Deck Chair and Yums podcast is brought to you by Mark McCartney's next meal, which is alphabetic spaghetti. Because you know why? He's eating nothing but words. It was a long walk to the well, but
It was well worth it, but
the champ is here.
oh, boxing royalty, I believe you're now called. Yeah,
I'm officially 1-0. That's my official
actually,
record.
on this podcast, you're now the only person to have competitively fought.
Right enough, aye.
I'm undefeated but never fought. You're
Aye.
undefeated but has fought.
That's the only medal I've ever had since Christopher on my Holy Communion. It's the only medal I've ever
Thought you'd be, I would have thought you'd been a fish boy now. Would you not have done well in the fish? No.
No, sure, I've never fucking done that. Too many abscesses and skin conditions to just constantly having to pull out. That's the only time my body's ever held together long enough to do anything. Maybe the bad ribs, sore hands, sore feet. Still kicked as fuck. Boy, Joe,
That's no. Well,
no, we're being gracious in victory.
gracious in victory indeed. Let me talk about how much you battered the fuck out of him.
Go ahead.
So yes, outside the ring, McCartney definitely gave you a good few slaps. But inside the ring, my fucking god, how that man was still standing. I do not know.
It's a very strange thing to watch it back and feel a mixture of guilt and pride at the same time.
Yes,
Because
I was glad he had a head guard
aye,
because otherwise
should have had a bigger one.
he was
Because
gone.
see, that was
I actually think he was on his feet at one point, like not knocked out, but he was like definitely didn't know where he was.
sorry, Nev's
Giving you a wee-
when I got there, and I go, "What are you fucking saying?"
Can't even look at the cunt now. I asked him to want a coffee earlier on. He was going to knock me out.
No, there was a couple of times I was like, I fucking really hit him there, like.
A couple of times?
No, but I mean, like,
Jesus, oh.
there was like,
Man, you connect with him a couple of times in
a
the
row?
first couple of fucking seconds.
the first. Oh my god, I feel awful about it.
You did.
I said it. I said it when we were watching the video. If you're check out Patreon, we watched the fight there. But when the fight started, I thought me and McCartney were like that. We've been standing here 15 seconds. I hadn't hit him yet,
Yeah.
and I was like, and I was trying to go. I was trying to get my eyebrows to go. Sorry, but I'm going to have to punch you now. And this all went through my head. When I watched it back, it goes ding, ding, round one. I just fucking cracked him. Like, hit him right in the...
And
I hit him, like...
both of you said
I
the same.
don't hit hard, right? But I think I've decent technique.
Not only the technique, but I said to you in the other episode, your distance was perfect because it was the momentum of your swing was the full connection.
Aye.
Much to McCartney's
Was
fucking
it his chagrin?
chagrin. I don't want to say the word.
There's
chagrin,
a couple of... People sent me a couple of videos they've taken from sitting at the ringside just on their phones.
yeah,
And there's a couple of bits where you go, fuck, you don't even see that in the...
in the actual
the
feed,
stream?
yeah.
So at the start, whenever my head guard slipped, right now, genuinely head guard slipped, and I thought, "Fuck, it's come off."
I
And
don't
it
know what the booing was about. I think
I think because it looked like McCartney was getting the better of me, and I think people thought I was just pulling the wee fucking fly one.
Right,
But when
okay.
you watch him from a different angle, I was like that, and he was throwing
we slaps.
slaps in, but they were definitely. I thought they were booing me. I don't know if McCartney thought they were booing him.
I think that McCartney then, as I said, he thought he had done something wrong. He said, and you can see him speaking to the coach, going, "What did I do?"
Aye.
But it was just But it just shows you how the adrenaline, the rush, and all the rest. Because he said the whole thing was a blur to him.
Aye, it's very very
Which
strange.
isn't surprising because I don't get the head fucking
That's all I
bit.
saw was a blur. But there's a point where like, so whenever it comes, when you watch the stream, you hear Tyrone McKenna going, McCartney needs to keep the pressure on here now and just build on Mickey's fear.
Mm-hmm.
And as he said it, I hit McCartney 4 times. And the last time I hit him, I ducked under a fucking right hook. So I went bump, 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 under and right.
Your ducking as well was unreal. Like
But it was the Mitch has a put it up on her Instagram story, and I like messaged her being like, I'm taking this. So there's a screen grab I have. It was me going bang, bang, bang under, and then I uppercutted him, right? And you can hear my girlfriend going, "Fucking ham, Mary, ham, fucking ham." But I zoomed in, and you see Sean McComb going, and my dick was just fucking. I fully understand why boxers fight until they're fucking heads away.
Yeah.
It's addictive, like.
Oh, you could.
Oh my God.
I can see you really.
heart rate's
getting,
going up now
I know.
thinking about
I can see you really getting into it. You always were into it. But now that it actually has, because definitely a few people have said to me that you'd fought before. They thought you'd fought before, that you were a ringer and all this crack. And I was like, no, he hasn't. But he has, in his head, had such a lengthy career.
Rocky 1 through 6.
He's been boxing for about 10 or 12 years now. As long as I've known him, Mickey has always classed himself as a boxer.
I wouldn't go that far. I
wouldn't
just
class yourself.
like it. I just like the art of war. I'm a warrior. I like combat sports, and I can't keep up with them.
But yes, I mean that showed. So let's talk about the whole day. I mean, the whole thing was I think, obviously I'm biased, but I think it was a fucking massive success. It was like
the whole day, and fair play to Shane Todd for all the organising he put into it. Fair play to all the guys that were working on the crew to film it. It looked phenomenal.
Considering
when the stream started, we were in the dressing room watching the stream, and I was like, "This is better than."
The BBC couldn't have done it.
They
couldn't have done it to the level it was done at. And I tell you about that, I genuinely, and I know a couple of patrons said it or somebody else, I was of the opinion, is this thing going to be shot from a 4K iPhone on a tripod in the corner, going Facebook Live thing? But oh my fucking, the production level, to the point, no joke, you wouldn't have complained about paying £15 for the stream.
Absolutely.
You know, the quality was that good.
It was phenomenal. I think like just the whole, first of all, the last podcast we did, I genuinely thought I'm going to have to pull out of this.
You were very concerned. I was worried about you too. Yeah,
dead concerned. Yeah. So I was trying to get my ribs sorted. And I think it was just a muscle that had sort of seized up over the course of the week. But because I was compensating for the sore ribs, I fucking pulled the muscle in my back the night before the fight.
Right, yes.
So I was in my flat trying to stretch and trying to do all these different things in a really, really bad temper. Like I was like, I fucking... And it was... the kind of thing there's been so much work put into it. I was like, I can't pull out. Plus the slag and I would have got if it had pulled out.
Yeah.
And then the envy of how excited I was about doing it.
Oh, I was gutted for you last week because it was genuinely like a touch and go thing, and I thought, fucking hell, for the man whose idea it was, to get the whole thing started.
Touch and go, what I call my fist now. Because once I touch you, you go, mate. You go somewhere else.
McCartney did go somewhere else. I think he went to the shop for fucking biscuits.
I looked at McCartney's eyes and it was like, do you know that bit in Gladiator with the hands just going to the wheat field?
He can see the light.
But it was like a really strange thing of you find yourself going, I don't know how to get nervous for this. So I got up in the morning and again I was like, there's things I was worried about apart from the fight.
So you cracked all your six eggs into a pint glass.
Oh, that carry on, right? I was worried about what if I need a shit? What if I need a piss? What if I, right? Because I get like a before gig.
Yeah.
So got up in the morning and I had a big bowl of Special K. Never eat Special K.
Never had it on the other day. Just
big bowl of Special K, right? And I don't know why. I was like, I just want fucking carbs and sugar. And I put sugar over it. And then my girlfriend went to the shop. She came back with an entire rotisserie chicken, and I'm pretty sure I had the whole chicken. So then you came picked us up.
I went and got you. Yeah.
And
I had McCartney and McCann in the car already, which was an experience in itself. McCann, so when I think about it, McCann said to me when I picked him up, he went, "What do you think I should do? I think I should go. I'm going to go as Joe Rogan, and will I go and get a T-shirt with whatever his phrase is on it, and a ball cap and stuff?" And I was like, if you want, man. With no context, he didn't tell me it was for interviews.
Oh, you thought he was.
I thought he just. Like I actually thought, you are losing it, man. You've been away too long. Like, why are you? I thought he just wanted to be in the audience. And then when I seen the seat with his name on it, I was like, you're actually doing something. I was like, I was like.
Because there was a certain element to that where everybody was going, what am I doing? What am I doing?
He never said. So I just thought he was roaming around Belfast looking for a ball cap just for the crack to sit there, not having to do anything.
But I hadn't realised that you used parked at the back of my flat were beeping the horn. I had McCartney fucking, where you card you?
We weren't beeping the horn, no.
We should have.
I added that sound effect.
Did you add that sound effect? Did you? Fuck, I believed it.
I know.
That was very good. So when you picked me up, I was like, fuck, I'm busting. And then...
But if you look at the video of... you'll see the video, the wee vlog thing I put up, when McCartney starts fucking about me in the back seat, you actually go, oh, jeez, my ribs are still sore.
It was still tight.
You were still tight, like, on the day.
Because even... oh, God, this is embarrassing too. I had to put the VR headset thing on, and I was trying to box it in that to try and loosen my ribs up, right? And I couldn't beat the first fucking character in it.
Character, right? Okay.
And I was like,
and who do you know? How many characters do you normally beat?
I've got a medal in that too. Like, not to brag, but I've went the distance.
And in all seriousness, I know we slagged for a right bit about the VR headset and all the rest, but that is pretty good shadowboxing.
It's decent shadowboxing,
because that's what it is, shadowboxing. But it means it's also because shadowboxing, you're just doing that. Obviously, you fight your shadow sort of thing. But the fact that you had something to react to,
you have to do something to try and get out of the way too. Yeah,
that's fucking unreal.
And I think it definitely helped. I went to the gym on Friday and just lifted weights like lightly to try and just stretch the muscle out. But yeah, Friday night I was like, I fuck my back up. So then whenever we all get to Belfast, checked into the hotel, and we went for something. We were supposed to meet Shane. I was that nervous. And it was a weird thing of like, you just don't know how to be nervous for it. Shane sent me a voice note going, here, I'll meet you at Nando's after we've done the fucking pre-show stuff in Ulster Hall. And I went, no problem, mate. I completely forgot that happened.
We're sitting in the Clayton Hotel, texting him, going at 3 o'clock. We're waiting for Shane. Going, he goes, no, the run through's 4. I was like, yeah, but Nando's at 3. And he went, no, I told Mickey it's 4:15. I was like,
I completely forgot about it.
As soon as I told you went the eyebrows, you went, oh,
and it was about an hour and a half ago. Like previously, it wasn't like the night before, weeks ago. So we got checked in and stuff, and then we went to Nando's. McCartney was putting coleslaw on his gloves.
No, I have to admit, I did.
I know you did. Loads of people did. Anne Marie Doherty has fucking told him to do it as well.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So fuck you.
I texted him in the morning. I says, "Have you the coleslaw bought?" And he just wrote back, "Eh?" And I went, "It's Mickey's kryptonite." He went, "Oh shit!" And he wrote, "Your loyalty will be rewarded." I'm still waiting for the reward, by the way.
Well, it's landing in a puddle in the corner of that ring. So yeah, we go to Nando's. McCartney starts, and I could tell by the way McCartney was eating the coleslaw. He doesn't like coleslaw either.
I thought that too, because not much of it was eaten.
Yeah, he was like, the wee tiny bites. Then he smeared it all over his boxing gloves, and I was like, this is on. Sore rib or no sore rib. But then, so it was like, my girlfriend checked into the hotel, and after we'd finished up all the stuff, I was right, I'm going to go back to the hotel here, have a quick shite, and just chill out for a bit. Got into the hotel, my girlfriend was getting ready, and I was like, it's less stressful standing in the middle of that fucking ring. So I just went straight back to the Ulster Hall. I was like, I can't, there's only so many times I can tell that looks great. I need to get back in the zone here.
Yeah. And it was great. So, I mean, we were the same. We sort of, after that, we went back to the hotel room where Toe Rogan got put together.
That bald cap. The size of his head, they must have flattened the child's fucking bouncy castle to get that thing round him.
Like, you can see in the video I put up, he actually says, I didn't think my head was that big. I was like, you what? You're surprised?
It looked like a Chinese fucking weather balloon. I'm surprised the Americans didn't shoot him down the size of that fucking thing floating about.
It was the fact that it snapped into pieces then.
Aye.
So just had half of his hair. I was like, what the fuck? And then
around the world in 80 days.
Boyle then was asked to put makeup on. And I don't know if Boyle heard, have you ever done plastering before? Because this fucking layer of makeup put on McCann's
Why
face.
Why did you put makeup on? To try and
blend it into the colour. Because it came with the...
Oh, right, I see.
It came with the bald cap to try and blend in the colours. But he put it all over his face. You know?
Is that why he looks so jaundiced?
I'm in the lift with him, and I said, "McCann, I have to walk across the street with you." Look, I was like, "Think you're gonna fucking make a wish?" Like, fucking, this wee critter's his liver's got nearly gone, so it is. he got a free ringside seat to the boxing.
I want to meet The Rock. Well, second best.
So then we get in, and the nerves, you could feel the tension in both camps, because obviously, as master of ceremonies, I was just sort of going in between both rooms or whatever, but you could feel. Now, Red Room was way more active than Blue Room, and I think it's just because Red Room was kind of also, as well as being your room, it was the first protocol for everybody.
Yeah,
so there's more people in there. And
but I had the shorts and boots on me at about 4:30.
The day before.
So I had the fucking nut cup in so long that I went, I have to take his back out because it's cutting the balls.
But yeah, so I mean the whole thing. I mean it's quite a testament to. I can't think I can't think of another scene at the moment that's as strong, comedy wise,
and ready for war.
I
think it was just great. Like
because everybody had a role, everybody had a part, and it then.
The commentary looked amazing. Even when you first see the stream from the dressing room, like we've already said, I was just like, "That's fucking looks gorgeous." When Kieran came out, there's no way to describe, and maybe it is just me being a fucking big softie, but the level of camaraderie between all of us now.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's unreal.
Is
it really
untouchable.
Is.
Like,
yeah.
Because when Kieran went out to sing, everybody was standing. Now everybody was in their gear, and Kieran starts fucking. They have that dog, and we were all just like fucking.
Mate,
This is happening.
Kieran Bartlett should have got a medal.
Aye.
Because that fight he put up was fucking unbelievable.
He
Because
was
that is
fucking great,
I can tell you now as a singer, what he did was fucking hard work. Shane had messaged me about 6 weeks ago and said, "Will you sing Eye of the Tiger at the start?"
Aye.
And I went, "Absolutely fucking not." I was like, do you know how high them notes are in Eye of the Tiger? No, I didn't know there was another version you could have done.
Aye.
I says, I could have done you like a wee swing version.
Yeah.
You know, real wee laid back, but it would be shit. I says, Kieran's the man for that. Kieran can do high notes. He can hit the higher notes. But I didn't know he was going to go the thrash metal version.
Oh, it was unreal.
That was
It was unbelievable.
I could see him popping vocal zones flat out, right? And I was like, fucking hell. And you, like Survivor's version, Eye of the Tiger is quite high, but vocal zones are the wee,
the wee
lozenges.
Yeah.
Like. And I seen him popping them like they were fucking Smarties, and I was like, "What the fuck?" He worried. He goes, "Ah, mate, it's gonna be hard to get through this." And I was like, "The notes are high. They weren't fucking notes. He had to hit notes, and fucking his throat had to be roaring the whole way through." But it just set such a precedent for the night rest of the night. It was fucking.
It was phenomenal.
But yeah, so I mean, even the Shine, I have to give it to them. I mean, they were on the ball, military precision, like,
great,
it was moving so quick, and everything was. There were a lot of moving parts happening.
Yeah.
And
I think it was a thing. There was a meeting sort of Thursday afternoon where Shine had basically gone, "We want to get this to the point where none of you have to worry about anything being run."
Mm-hmm.
And Shane Todd, fair play to him, was still sitting, getting people from Shine to go make sure they interview with McCann after coming out of the rings. I think the first two fights
they
missed.
Yeah,
just missed it. But again, I think it's one of those things where any briefing we were given, it was going one ear out the other, because all you're thinking is.
Listen, even for me, I was getting briefings like lastminute.com most of the time. You know, the addition of the person speaking from Pips.
Aye,
because I was to go out, get the energy up, bring Kieran on, then do it, and then it was I'm going to bring the energy up and bring on the person from Pips.
Aye,
and I was like, listen, it's a charity. That's a very serious charity, so that's gonna, it's just gonna bring the energy down again, and nothing to do with the charity or the person. But I'm gonna have to go back out again. So I did. I had to go back out again and do the whole right. This is energy up, Kieran.
This is the show.
And then, as time went on, we got to the interval. And then, because I was only supposed to do the start sort of thing, then they came to me in interval and listen, we're way ahead of schedule. I'm going to need you to fill in time. So that's where I was like, what? I didn't want to go out and do comedy.
Aye.
I don't know what's a comedian's boxing, but I thought you could go out there and ruin the whole energy. Like, so I said, right, I'll go and list all the podcasts, because that's where all this conversation sort of came from. So I just went around the 2 dressing rooms and went, right, give me the names of, because there was podcasts I didn't know people had.
Aye.
So I got them all.
Like best of the best.
Like, fuck, he's in fighting form, boys. Don't fucking start him. And so then when what the worst thing was, I only did the dressing rooms because of the fighters. But so then when I watched the stream back, I'd read out all the podcasts and everybody gets a cheer and we get a good cheer and all that sort of crap. And then Tommy McCarthy's in the ring.
Fuck aye, yeah.
At ringside, Tyrone McKenna, Dave Elliott, and Kieran Bartlett. And then Geddes is there, and I was like, oh, and I like they on the live stream, the commentators are going, oh, I don't forget about the Sly Guy podcast, No Blasters. And I was like, oh man, I literally was thrust upon.
I think we should change our podcast name to General Batter. That's what I do now. Is just batter people in general.
Major damage, we'll just call it. That's all you impart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a message Kieran going, listen, I didn't, it just was put up on me last minute. I had to go and try and fill time, whatever. So I was like a couple of the biggest podcasts in the world, like General Banter and No Blasters and Sly Guy. And I was like, fuck
them.
I felt bad because again, I would have been a lot more prepared if I had known there was more I had to do. And then Lisa came to me then and she was like, oh, we're going to need you to finish it off. And I was like, I'm going to have about 6 pints here.
Oh, you were snot. There was I don't know, there was, it was such a weird thing to be, even in the dressing room. So we couldn't drink backstage.
Yeah.
Because of insurance reasons, like you're not allowed to.
No, absolutely not.
And at one point, somebody had brought sausage roll. There was all sweets and sausage rolls sitting about, but out of that much chicken, I was like, I can't even fucking think about anything like that. And then Ian Thompson went into the fridge and just took it after his fight. His nose was still bleeding, and he just ate the sausage roll. And I was like, That smells fucking unbelievable. Like, let's get this fucking thing done now. Like,
yeah. I didn't like that. I watched back to the live stream, and we'll talk about the other fights in a minute. We got because I think it was Michael Conlon started talking about Boyle. He said a load of drink before he went on stage, and a load of Dutch Courage, and that's the Dutch Courage coming in. And all that. I'm going, no.
I think they probably expected us to be drinking backstage.
I think that's what it was, and I wanted to fucking.
So did I.
I was shouting at the fucking screen, going, "Jesus, don't do it!" You know, fucking they didn't drink. They were so like. That's why I was so impressed that everybody was so like no drink backstage. There's no. And
I'd been off even me for an entire 9 days.
Even me as MC, who's not fighting, I didn't bring a drink backstage. You know what I mean? But I hated the idea that then the public thought, "Oh, they're all steaming doing this." And I was like, "No, that's very dangerous."
No, it was done safely. Like, I think like now after our fight, I ran to the bar. I still had the wraps on my hands, and had a pint of Heineken that has never tasted sweeter.
I would say that. I'd say it was fucking lovely.
And I'd give you my cigarettes so I couldn't get a smoke. I think afterwards you gave me a fat, and I went like the whole thing, just in one draw,
like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Healthy lungs now because I'm an athlete.
But yeah, fight by fight. I mean, I'm not gonna class McDermott or Boyle in the categories because they are two fighters.
Yeah, fought before, yeah.
And
because McDermott was Ian Thompson was supposed to fight either James McKegney or Vittorio Angeloni.
Right.
So McKegney had to pull out obviously because of his cankles. And then Vittorio, for some, I don't know, something Spanish. No, he was on tour. So his tours went crazy over in the UK. So they couldn't make it. So you can tell Cormac's fought before.
Absolutely.
You could straight away, you could tell.
Yeah, you could tell right away.
Because
even from the stance.
Ian Thompson can throw a fucking couple of decent digs. But going up against somebody that's actually genuinely fought before, you're not getting anywhere near them. Like,
no, not going to it. But those two aside, I was heavily impressed by yourself, naturally, because of the way you performed. But Shane Todd was very impressive. I thought Heather Anderson fired some fucking
Heather Anderson was
punches,
dropping some bombs, like
heavy punches.
Heather Anderson and Rachel McPeak were the first two to spar.
Yeah.
The rest was like, she was spar next week just to get used to it. And them two were beating the fuck out of each other for a full month.
Rachel was very, very good as well, I have to say. Worthy winner. Sean Haggerty. If Sean Haggerty had been fighting somebody his own weight, he'd have killed him.
I came into the dressing room at one point. Sean was just standing wearing the vest he was wearing for the fight, and I forgot how big his arms are. Sean Haggerty's triceps were the same size as McCann's head.
I won't go far. But he did. And fair play to Pete. Like Pete, obviously, that's the thing about the boxing. Obviously, in the weight things, is that he's so much heavier that he could absorb them. Yeah, and it's harder to knock him out. You know,
Pete hit Sean with some fucking.
Oh, he did. That's what I said. Whenever you connect with that weight, you're going to do it. But Sean's technique and his approach and the whole feet work, the distance, the movement.
There was one where he closed distance like a professional fighter. It was like he threw an empty jab to put Pete on the back foot.
Yeah, and then followed
in with two more, and then it was great.
It was deadly. Now. So I mean, Boyle and Paddy. A lot of people complained to me saying about, geez, Boyle just danced around him and all the rest. I was like, yeah, but Boyle's a fighter.
Aye.
What did you expect him to? Did you want him to go in there and like make a show of Paddy, which he could have very easily have done? But the other thing is, as when I was doing MC as well, you realised how fucking many people were there for Paddy, in like big fans.
Absolutely.
It's his backyard and all the rest. But I was like, what did you? Ronan at one point, Ronan, I watched it. Like at one point, he gave him a wee flurry of about 6 punches.
Aye.
And I knew it was just. Right, behave yourself, Paddy.
Aye, just
because if you want, I can unleash this.
What's scary about Boyle is when you watch it back, he was throwing just left jabs to the body, and he's obviously a big guy.
Yeah,
but he was covering about 7 foot of distance.
Unbelievable.
It was like Stretch Armstrong.
It was like,
and they were that quick. Like I found myself going. I know I've boxed once, but I found myself going. If I was standing there expecting that, he would still hit me with it.
Yeah. Unreal. A lot of people are like, there must have been a bribes and all, you know. I was like, it was a comedians boxing. You know, I mean, they're gonna
because the two teams were tied the whole way up.
Right. Yeah.
So whenever they had tied, it meant that was
the dead. Yeah,
that's dead tie everybody.
I think that's where the boos maybe came from. But
yeah. But then as well, I noticed the difference when because me and Mark went down to watch. It was when Paddy and Boyle fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I missed Shane's because I was trying to get beer. But you could tell by that stage of the night when you were in the crowd.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a different. Everybody's drunk.
Oh, aye.
Everybody's got a bloodlust.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is a coliseum. Like it's, do you know what I mean? It's not like the Ulster Hall where people go, I quite like that bit. Oh, a callback.
No.
You're like, fucking.
Now, Paddy wasn't stupid either in what he did, you know, the whole home advantage, and then the entire lights go out for Paddy coming, and the slow, the Irish tune with the Belfast Child and all that crack.
The only one where
The
personalised gear.
Well, I mean, just the lights going out for that in general, like, because nobody else
again,
got it.
That's the whole part of it too. Like,
That was a headline fight.
It, like.
Headline fight, that's what it is. But even the whole vibe, I thought, the fuck, this is mighty. Like, and then I actually thought when Ronan hit him them couple of times, I thought, oh fuck, that's too much. You know,
I go, yeah,
because I think Paddy wasn't putting up much of a defense. You know, he wasn't. It didn't seem like very strong, heavy punches that he was throwing. But
he can hit hard. That day we were in the gym, he can, if he fucking lets him go. But there's a certain amount of it too where it's like
the reach went to Boyle's advantage big time. Like, as you say, he covered so much space.
Oh my god, when it was.
But he told me, he goes, the refs just went, that'll do.
Aye.
When he unleashed that flurry, the ref went, that'll do.
Stop. Didn't focus hit to me. Must have liked McCartney.
Well, I do believe there was a wee.
At one point, the ref put a fiver in my helmet when hit him again.
There was a wee vibe of let's make sure Paddy comes out all right out of this from all corners.
Well, again, he was fighting an actual fighter, like
timekeeper Tommy McCarthy. Everybody was all doing
that.
Even listening to commentary, and they give him one round. I'm like, come on, Colin, fuck off! Like, you're clutching the straws here, like fucking.
Met Colin messaged me, tell me I was class, so we're friends now. So you leave Met Colin at this, or I'll fucking fight you too.
I'll fight you next year. You'd have to come up to my weight. That's the only thing.
No problem. Because I'll tell you something else. I'm like Paddy Pimblett. I have not stopped eating or drinking. No, I didn't really stop before it.
I was going to say, when did you stop?
You want to see them at the food I put away Sunday and yesterday?
Mental.
I had 2 full portions of chips. And 2 triple cheeseburgers at a McDonald's.
You didn't.
And I had Valentine's Day hangover though.
Well, that's true.
But then on Valentine's Day I had about 12 pints of Guinness and pretty much 2 pizzas. Couple of whiskies.
Nobody. Sure, no, that's what the day of love's all about. Just you love food.
I did some pints. But the fucking, I'm trying to think who else like with this, because I know like
Darren Matthews WWE fucking effort in the middle of the ring. I don't know how he was allowed to win that. I was
There's that, and I think that on the other side you do go. It does take a certain amount of strength to be able to throw somebody that far, because he threw Sean McAlevey across the ring. Like
the second one was a really hard throw, like, you know, and you're like, fuck.
It was the time where he put him in a headlock, and you could tell he was trying to choke him. You're like, Jesus, Darren, you didn't sound my bad name.
Matthews afterwards going, I didn't think I had a temper, but I do. I was like, you fucking do. I'll fire your redhead fucking come in, you boy.
Man of him, see himself.
Nah, sure, right. Who else was there then?
McPeak and Claire Corrigan.
Yes, that was...
Because there was, as the French say, bad blood.
Yeah.
That's Italian, sorry.
Yes, that's Italian.
Because I think Claire did the right thing, just kept tying Rachel up.
Yeah.
But I think I was really starting to wind Rachel, like it was fucking her off.
Rachel definitely was looking...
Because McPeak has fucking, she has really great punches.
It seemed to be, she could throw shit if you had.
But the kind of thing you go, well, here's the only way to fucking keep this one close. Stop you using it. Which is exactly what fighting is. So I'm told. I've only fought once.
Listen, yeah, she played the right game. Like, who else was there in the second half? Or the first half, sorry. She had Ian and Cormac. You had Heather and Sarah Jade. You had Rachel and Claire. You had Sean and Darren. Then that was it.
Yeah, then the second half was...
Giffen and Hegarty and you, and then Shane and Paddy and Roe, yeah.
And because I've been trying to find it on the stream, did Shane knock Johnny's tooth out?
It's a false tooth.
Right, okay. Well, it is now.
Like a crown or like a temporary thing that came out as a screw-in job, you know.
Was it the back or the front, or where was it?
I don't know where actually the tooth was now, I don't know, but I know it was on the fucking side of the ring.
Jesus Christ.
There was a photograph of it.
Shane can hit, like...
I felt sorry for Johnny. I just think that was a very, very big mismatch there. I don't think it was fair. And I think, and I'm going to say it, I think it was done on purpose.
No, I don't know. I think there's been...
Fucking was, surely. Shane doesn't want to... Shane doesn't want to get bait.
But I don't...
Which is fair enough. Nobody wants to get bait.
I don't think Shane knew how much he was going to come on training.
So I think that's I trained with Shane at one point. The gap between him and Johnny got ever so much bigger.
Yeah.
Obviously with the training. I mean, maybe at a time... At the start, I did say on this podcast, maybe I think it could be tight.
I trained with Shane.
I trained with Shane.
But I trained with Shane one day just before Christmas, So when we both went to Sean McComb's gym, and I was like, Shane's footwork isn't great. Like I was like, he doesn't really know how to get out of the way of things. And then trained with him again about 2 weeks after Christmas, and I was like, fuck me.
His footwork on the night was unbelievable.
And I think like Shane has that. He does have that kind of. It's the same with Haggerty because they're both athletic fellas.
Yeah.
They both have a mentality of I'm going to get fucking good at this.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then sure enough,
it pays off. Like
Shane and Sean. If they're doing another one,
should be Shane and Sean.
Should
have been from the start. Like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But again, and then in fairness to Shane as well, I would say if you watch the stream back, there's a point where Shane's trying to say to Johnny,
"Yeah, go on ahead." Yeah,
go on ahead, and that happened to me in McCartney's fight. There was a couple of times I was going to McCartney, "Are you all right, mate?" Right, but I'm wearing a fucking thing with a gum shield in, so all he hears is me shouting. At one point, I'm trying to stick my thumb up, forgot I'm wearing a boxing gloves. I'm just shaking my hand.
Oh, absolutely. But he wasn't a daze. There was a wee shuffle. There's a wee second and a half shuffle where it just looks like he is literally dead on his feet. He doesn't know. He doesn't even know what direction he's going. Never mind.
But it's a. He fucking hit me a couple of times.
Oh, he did get a couple.
Afterwards, but listen, I was like, my jaw's a bit sore.
Listen, fucking, a stopwatch is right twice every day. You know what I mean? Just because he landed a few, but they were hitting hope jobs. Like,
he's lucky he didn't. Well, no, there was a couple of fucking good. Like, now there was a couple of times it looks like he hit me hard, but I was actually just moving out of the way, and he landed.
Got it, yeah.
But then there was.
But that's why I said I think. But your distance
and he tried to hit me in the sore rib too. So fuck him.
I noticed that at the very start too, and then and a couple of the close huddles together, he was still digging into that side too. You knew which one to look for, the wee sneaky bastard. That's how I was fenting him. You see, you can't take the man out of fenting, but you can't take fenting out of the man. That's it.
But I will say, there's no better feeling now, Conor, than just connecting with a boy.
I was so torn, obviously because of 2 years and all the rest, but I also was like, this is for our podcast. We have to fucking win this shit.
Like, and again, but at the same time, there was no. Me and McCartney were both being like, "You all right here?" Do you know what I mean? During the fight,
no, you weren't.
I was.
You were fucking
Conor.
Maggie.
Let me tell you.
You just said a minute ago he couldn't understand a word you were saying.
Aye, but I was trying to.
The intent was there.
It's not my fault he kept walking into them. It's not my fault that I was treating with 2 different boxing just in case.
Is that his name?
Remember there was condoms used to be called Justin Casey's? Remember them?
No.
There's a real fucking, I don't know. I'm still buzzing off it. There was a couple of guys that did it over in England a few years ago, Kai Humphries and those guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And Jared Christmas messaged me from Australia going, mate, you're going to be insufferable for months. He was like, I was exactly the same. We did it. He goes, it was 5 years ago, and he goes, I still think about it, and I get all fucking.
So I mean, then the event's over, the night's done. We move on into
Le Sèche,
to the other heavyweight fucking division, which was the drinking part of it. I have to say I had starting, because I was painting the whole way through the night. I didn't give a fuck.
I put my arm around Sean McComb and Stephen Hawking in Pugs, and I went, now use 2 cunts in my gym.
Welcome to my world. Let me show you how it's done here.
You want to hear about shots? Yes, it is.
Let me tell you about footwork, lads.
Punches
you
and
plant
bunches.
your 2 feet here, right? You face that way.
Punches and bunches and pinch and hips, boys. There was
me and McCartney nearly didn't get in.
That was ridiculous.
That was weird. I was a wee bit of a power trip just from
I
the
think
bouncer,
I was about. Yeah. I don't think that bouncer knew who the fuck he was dealing with. Fucking 16 drunk comedians been fighting all day. We could have all phoned our agents.
If McCartney was more annoyed than I was, and I'm glad I sort of shoved McCartney away from the bouncer. The bouncer basically wasn't going to let us in because of health and safety.
Aye.
I don't know if he thought McCartney was going to bust it again, but he kept saying, "No, it's 2 fault." And I said, "No problem, mate." And McCartney's like, "What? What's?" And I was like, "No, just don't say the hand because you know a bouncer. If he's on a power trip, you'd let him have his wee trip." And I said, "No problem, mate. That's grand." I says, and then you were out smoking. You went back in, and you turned and went, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh no," he says, "Can't get up with it." And then you sort of looked at the bouncer but didn't say anything and then walked in. And I said, no, don't worry about it. And then he goes, give me 10 minutes. And I thought, what the fuck's the 10 minutes about?
Well, just so you know, I had my jacket. I was going to leave.
I know. I went up and revs and you were up ready to fucking jacket on, ready to fucking... I was like, fucking fair play. We were going to
somewhere else. We're going to stay here. And then
we
went back to the hotel. And
then we went back to the hotel. Now, here's the thing. I don't know when I'm going to learn not to be in the same hotel as you.
What do you mean? This is never... Right, there was the one time I booked in Draperstown. And there was the time we found the Chinese in Draperstown, so that was all right.
Yeah.
What other bad experiences have you had?
All of them.
When?
Because the same
when
thing
was the last time we stayed in a hotel together?
The same thing
Grand
happens.
Central after the Ulster Hall that time when I bought you the £120 on the pizzas.
Yeah.
Which that was good.
It doesn't even have to be staying in the same one. I can't deal with the fucking 6 o'clock in the morning drinking, Mickey. I just can't do it.
It was 4 when I went to bed.
Right. Well, I was 3, so it wasn't too bad.
Right.
But
you might have seen the photos, ladies and gentlemen. McCartney and I decided we'd have a Warriors bath.
let me rephrase that. I'll just Warriors bath before the fighting even happened.
Oh yeah, we were deciding.
Once they seen that bath, you went, "We're going to be in that." No, I thought you meant me and you, or no, you and McCartney.
And
there would have been room for me and you. Like
no, thankfully there was plenty of bubbles, so I didn't have any dry pants with me. And I says to the good lady, "Go on upstairs and get me a pair of dry pants." But then I couldn't wait, so I just get in the bath fully in the nip. McCartney got in with his kicks on, and at one point, me and McCartney's left the bath drinking prosecco. My girlfriend's sitting in the toilet talking away. You're even eating a sandwich in the corner, and McCartney goes, "Bartle, is that your gooch in my toe?" And it was. And I'll tell you something else. I've never felt more relaxed in my life. It was the best fucking bath I've ever had.
I'm only now finding out you were in the nip. I didn't know. Because when I get into the thing you were already in, I was just there with McCartney. I didn't know you.
The head of point where the bubble started to fade, and I was all right. It's time to get out because everybody's going to see. And you would have only needed the one bubble. I was nervous. But I
remember
my toe in your gooch.
I remember lying on the bed after we had a wee mini mongo. So I had the sandwiches and the wraps and stuff that I had stashed for me and Mark.
Aye.
And you come in fucking. And
so I thought anyway,
I'll lie down here and listen to Mickey talk to Mark, which is what was happening.
Mark was talking back.
Very
we were having lovely chats.
Here, let me tell you, Mark McCartney. Let me tell you something.
Shut up! You just tore up my ass.
And then
Mark McCartney left a bit.
Next thing I know, I'm waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I had a clean t-shirt and clean pants sitting by the bedside or by the bath side.
Yes.
And now there's a combined weight I would say of about 30, 31 stone in that bath. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of water spilled out, so by the time I get out of the bath, all my clothes were soaked.
Yeah.
So I walked through the Grand Central Hotel with nothing but a towel around me. And them towels aren't that big.
Well, I'm so glad you explained that because I couldn't figure out what was I couldn't figure out what happened because I missed that. So think of where I'm coming from. I didn't know you were in the nip, right?
Uh-huh.
So I thought you had your boxers on like McCartney had. And then the next morning I come in and there's a pile of wet boxers. And I was like, did he take them off coming out of the bath and walk in the nip?
Aye.
So you didn't have them on in the first place. So that's how they got wet.
The water kept spilling out of the bath on them.
Right, okay. Because you were in for the bath for maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a good while. We topped it up a couple of times. I think at one point we actually let water out to put more hot water in.
Yes.
The
Previous times did you just scoop water out onto the fucking floor? Because I went to go for a piss in the morning and I was still had socks on and I was like, oh, they took my fucking socks off.
Tell you what's more upsetting, Connor. The Grand Central will give you free bathrobes.
Yeah, I know.
So I could have just put a bathrobe on, a wee pair of slippers, went on up, and I was that drunk I forgot I did that.
Oh, you didn't even put a bathrobe on?
No, the towel.
Just a towel?
Just a towel. But I up around here like that. And like...
If you work in the Grand Central Hotel, please, for the love of God, go back to the CCTV of your corridor and get me the footage of Mickey Bartlett
definitely fell at some point.
in the towel walking out. You have full permission to do it. No GDPR
absolutely,
problems.
Full
Send it to us.
Send it to us. Absolutely. The lifts in the Grand Central aren't very reliable either.
Oh, they're so long.
I was standing there a while.
I never thought about that. You only had to go up one floor. You could just walk the stairs, but not.
Things like that. I could have walked up the stairs with dressing gown and kept my dignity, but instead, no.
Stand outside the lift.
The champ was here.
Did you have to share the lift with anybody?
I don't know. I don't think so. Sorry, I just like to remind him. Daddy loves you.
So yes, that was a very eventful night. I really had a very enjoyable night. The next morning, then we all decided to Fuck the Grand Central Hotel. Good breakfast. Let's go to Weatherspoons.
That was the most disappointing, and this is a weird thing to say, the most disappointing Weatherspoons breakfast I've ever had.
Yeah, it was pretty rank.
It was stinking. Now, me and you going to the net. McCartney couldn't eat.
McCartney couldn't eat.
Probably too sore. My good lady couldn't eat. Same reason. Fuck, she's fed up. Swallow that girl. God bless her. Because we get a pizza when we went to bed. But can we tell the story about on the way to the Grand Central?
Oh, fuck.
Nez, did you hear with this? So, this will go down on record, and I know this for a fact, as the most I've laughed at anything in my entire 36 years on this planet. And I will continue to think fondly of it, right?
I have laughed at it so many times.
And I don't know how to fucking... I don't know if you could tell anybody this, and that even... I don't know how to... How do you tell
That's
people?
what I'm saying. It's one of those you had to be there moments because the timing of it, the innocence of it, the timing of it, the fucking the regret, the instant
So
regret.
we parked. We had parked your car at the back of the Ulster Hall.
Yeah.
We all went over, dropped our bags and stuff off at the Ulster Hall, and we're walking to Weatherspoons in the Dublin Road. So if you know that wee bit of road, you walk around the back of the Ulster Hall, you cut through that wee car park, then there's a
And
wee green man.
you're on the island with Nando's and all that. Yeah.
And it's usually quite busy, so you have to cross one, wait, cross the other one, right? So as we were standing outside BBC, across the street, there's a car parked on the footpath, and there was a guy.
Carrying a.
He was trying to put something on top of his car, but he was. When I looked over, first of all, he was standing in the footwell.
Yeah.
But was outside of the car trying to strap something to the roof.
Yeah. And I still don't know what it is or what it was.
It looked to me to be initially. I thought it was. Do you know when you see like a giant salami in a movie?
Yeah, like it was a promotional thing, like either a sausage or a salami or something like that. Yeah,
right. Upon closer inspection, it was like a big wooden sausage. Okay. Now, I had looked for quite a while. I was trying to figure out what was going on here. Why is this man doing this thing to the roof? I was trying to think of a joke, right? And I looked at him and went, it's like he's a Chinese guy. He's putting the thing on the roof. And then you looked, and obviously...
My Tyrone
you only saw the big
vocabulary.
sausage bit.
I seen the big sausage.
So Casey goes, fuck me, that's some wang. And then the dude turned round. So, as the fucking top as long as you hear him go, fuck me, that's some wang. Oh, fuck.
It was the instant that he turned around and realised he was Asian. I went, oh, fuck.
But
and
as
is,
he said,
as I said,
my brain was thinking. So when I turned round, he was making the same facial expression as my inner monologue, and I had to crawl across the street. I laughed that hard. Fuck me, that's some wang. Oh, fuck.
I'm just so glad that we were far enough away. You said he turned right. He didn't hear it. If I had said that as I was passing, I know I'd have been arrested for hate crime.
There was people in their cars laughing at me trying to get across the street.
That's right. We were waiting for the green man, and when it came, none of us were able to. That has popped into my head about 4 or 5 times since Sunday. And
we're waiting for the green man. All you saw was a yellow one. I've made it worse. Oh, no,
there was nothing racist, xenophobic, anything about what I said and what I meant. It's just the context of it.
Fuck me, that's some wang. Oh, fuck.
Any other word?
It was
just that Tyrone thing we always say to all the boys I grew up with. Oh, just fucking some wanging them, boys.
And the thing was,
knob.
I remember thinking, oh, he must have spotted the guy's Asian and he's doing one of those things where you pretend to be racist. But it was the time he just turned around like, oh, fuck. It was like that time at Woodsy's wedding. And you're at a wedding, you're sort of looking about to see who's the best looking girl. I think I was single at the time, looking about to see who's fucking whatever, who's hot. And I saw this really, really beautiful woman. And as I was looking at her, McCann went, fuck me, that's some shock there. And I was like, did I think that?
I could hear your realization happen at the same time as I went, oh fuck. It was just
I was like that.
Oh my god. And then when we actually got to the car and got past the two wangs, I still don't know what it was.
Aye.
I couldn't even look. I was so buckled over.
Tell you what it was. It
and
was
then
wishful thinking.
But then you made it worse because you were so buckled. I was just gone. I was like, oh fuck. And your man's probably going, what the fuck are these two
Aye.
cunts laughing at?
Well, because it was. I mean, we're 20 feet away from it. I laughed the whole way up. I was still laughing in Grant's or in the fucking Weatherspoons.
But to one point, in the middle of eating, you started laughing, and your good lady went, "You still laughing at that?" Then
I've
started
laughed
again.
about it for days. I went to the pub with my dad on Sunday.
Did you tell Paddy? Did you?
Yeah. And he laughed his balls off. And then when I told him again, I started laughing about it again later. He went, I don't get it. And I was like, thanks for laughing out of politeness.
That's just pure Paddy laugh. Okay. So that was our experience.
That
in
was the
Belfast.
boxing. That was the whole shebang. We'll never talk about it again. Talk about it next week, probably the rest of my life. Until there's another one. Give me another fight.
If it was to be put to you again now today, as in choose your opponent for this time, 12 months time, who would it be?
Any man at all.
I would like to see you fight Paddy.
Paddy suggested me and him do the next one.
I think you and Paddy would be. Paddy would have to either lose a bit of weight and you'd have to put on a bit of weight. Because Paddy's, I don't know what he would be, 18 maybe, stone?
Aye, maybe.
He'd be about, what are you, 16?
I'm 16.
Aye. So you might need to meet in the middle of 17. I'm sure you wouldn't mind eating a bit more. But
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, because
what about, like, what's the
like,
difference? What would be the difference between
I'd
you?
sparred Haggerty and Shane.
I was
When I
going to
kept
say,
up with them.
what's the difference between you and Haggerty, weight-wise?
I would say Haggerty's probably about 12, 13, so it's probably a good 3. I mean, ideally...
Because they went for the Lurgan World Championship. They were fighting for the Lurgan World title, and I thought, well, listen, there's only one world title winner in the fucking Lurgan. I mean, Collie Duffy. But
I thought it would be, I don't know, it'd be interesting because I know that, like, there was, when Sean and I sparred, so I told the story last week, I hit Sean in the ribs, and then Shane hit me in the ribs. So there was one point when Sean and me sparred, I did get him into a corner, and got a couple of wee fucking that's what I call them.
We've moved on from Gigak now.
Yeah. You know, Gigak's just showing off.
When you get professional.
Yeah, Gigak's more for kicking.
Right.
But no, realistically, I think like Shane and Sean would be the only one you could really do because
Shane and Paddy Raff. You heard it here first.
Now that'll be some scrap.
That'll be some scrap.
Sean and Rodney. I've never seen them two in the same room. It's like Clark Kent and Superman. I think we would definitely do. I would want to see a rematch of Sean McAlevey and Darren Matthews.
Yeah, just McAlevey did very well.
Like, yeah,
I have to say, I said it when I was internally doing my own thing. I was right there. Matthews has definitely got this one. McAlevey fucking shocked me. Boy, he definitely put the effort in.
Sean McComb's a phenomenal trainer. Like,
well, that's the other thing I would say. So Stephen Hawking and Sean
Hockeyan, yeah,
and
Hockeyan,
yeah, spell it
Hughiin.
Right, Hockeyan.
Right.
The way you were saying, I genuinely thought.
I know people keep on Stephen Hawking, and then they go Stephen Hawking, and I'm like, no.
No, I that's why I didn't go with that joke. I thought it was genuine. It was a Hockeyan. So him and Sean McComb, like, I mean, fucking the work they did in both these was.
Tell you
unreal.
what, the level of pride, see walking out with Stephen in the fucking walk, because he, God love him. Now, look at his fights on YouTube, right? The man's an animal and a fucking gentleman, right? So there was a point we were all in the dressing room. And Stephen turned up to fucking do my corner, but he was like, I'll fucking help out everybody else. So there's a point we're on the dressing room, and he goes, well, hit some pads here to loosen you up. And I was like, aye. And he was throwing me these combos, you knew you had, like, it would sound like fucking rifles going off. And as I was hitting, he was like that. He was all, I did that.
It's my boy.
So like, even him walking out with me, I was like, this is fucking, this is class.
And Tommy McCarthy as well, fair play to him as well.
Oh,
the whole Adlam, like,
everybody,
everything was great. And Conlon being in the fight, and then Kenton for the commentating at the end. You know, I think everybody was just. I think the boxing fraternity and the comedians, there was a natural fusion there.
There seems to be a weird thing too, because it's.
They're both adversarial roles,
but it's also.
I don't care who you are.
It's both show business.
But I suppose show business, but they're both adversaries. If you're a boxer, you're going into the ring, and that's your adversary. If you're on stage as a comedian, your audience is your adversary. Like every gig is a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I think there's that thing as well of like the.
And it's one person. You're in charge.
The people promoting boxing and comedy don't give a fuck about the fucking people doing it.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think there is a weird kind of, because I was mentally feeling like I was at a gig. The only way I could describe how it felt before it was like doing TV warm up. I had no idea how long I was going to be doing stand up for, or what jokes I was going to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've no real prep for it. And when the audience booed, whenever my head guard slipped, my brain went, "You're going to have to pull this one back."
Try and win them back. I don't know if I'm going to get them back or not.
Aye.
But will they see this closer?
Tough crowd. Jesus Christ.
Might have to try some new stuff. Bring out down classics. Yeah, so I mean,
Is this
hopefully,
thing on?
hopefully next year we're back at it. But again, my thing is,
I would love to do it before Christmas.
my thing is genuinely, don't do it again. I don't think you'll top that. I think it was that good.
It could be one of those situations where it was a one-off thing.
It was a one-off thing, and maybe pick another type of thing. I know there's not much you can do other than that, but I just think it was so good. I don't know how you'll top it. Like. And people are like, oh, take it to the SSE Arena, and you're like, yes, but don't forget the production level changes.
Yeah.
Screens come in, and then the cost of them screens. You might need one for each side of the ring for 4 screens at $10,000 each. That's money away from pips.
Aye.
So
absolutely.
the only option you have again is back to the Ulster Hall, and then you might not be able to
Then
top
it's
it.
been done. Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I definitely want to keep fucking boxing them.
You definitely should. Absolutely should. I'm not saying go pro or anything, but I mean you should definitely take part in more white collar things. I think maybe.
Yeah, I think I will.
I think you would.
I think that'll do something.
It's like local GA clubs all do it, and they're always good fundraisers for them. Like and I wonder. I'd love to get speaking to some of the actual boxing fraternity in Belfast and go, what did you think of the show? You have put on so many nights in Ulster Hall. Was this up there with your best nights, or was it?
Oh, it's bound to be.
Has to be. Like you think there's no way it could compete.
Because like even you think everybody's walkout was fucking bad at. Like nobody choked in the walkout.
No, and the DJ, I have to say, shout out to the DJ. He did a
great.
fucking great job. He was fucking top class. DJ, is it Dave? No, DJ Dave. Yeah.
Calvin Craig as well for the photos.
That's right. The photos were top. Everything about it was
just great.
Yeah. So basically anything we go to do, we did well.
That's it. Speaking of which, I have to go now because I need to pee, and my tour starts in about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's right. He forgot about it.
Yeah, doing punch drunk. Thanks so much for listening. We'll jump over to Patreon, do some quick questions. If you enjoy the podcast, tell your mates about it. Spread the word.
And to all our new patrons, thank you very much for coming along.
Yep.
Find out the crack from all our existing ones, but send us questions and all that sort of stuff, and let us know who you are, where you come from.
See you later. Now, next day.